The dashboard is heavily cracked, and the wiring harness is dangling. The seats are torn, and the floor is completely rusted.
The frame rails are completely compromised. This isn't just surface rust, it's structural. The brake lines here are heavily corroded.
So heavily caked in mud, you can barely see the iconic shape. These rusted panels tell a story of long neglect.
So much dust. The texture of the cracked rubber here is incredible, and the rust is just flaking away.
A close look at the shattered windshield. Broken glass rests delicately on the rusted frames and inside the interior panels. The rust here is quite severe, deep pitting around the fender line. And these headlight buckets are completely shot.
Look at this texture. So much corrosion on the hinge. Let's see if we can get it to move.
Let's take a closer look at the 1989 Batmobile. The rust has completely overtaken the panels, leaving the vehicle structurally weak and completely abandoned.
Look at the texture of this rust. Decades of neglect caked in mud. It's beautiful, in a way.
Aquí están las llaves.
Gracias. Es un trato hecho.
Goodbye, old friend. I know you're going to a good home.
All right, everyone, easy now. This is the 1989 Batmobile.
Okay, making sure this fender is secure. 3 more clicks on the ratchet. Nice and tight.
After all these years hidden away, the Batmobile is finally coming home. A little rough, perhaps, but the anticipation is building.
The wait is finally over. The legendary 1989 Batmobile has arrived at the shop. Look at this rust.
The sound of the water cascading over the panels is incredibly relaxing. It's revealing the beautiful patina underneath.
Starting with a gentle scrub here on the Batmobile wheel, getting all that caked on grime loose.
Look at how the foam clings to the surface. It's slowly lifting away decades of grime.
Look at the state of this hinge. It's completely seized. We're definitely looking at a full panel replacement here.
Yep.
Listen to the creaking metal.
So much rust. We have to be very careful.
Here we have the exposed engine bay. Look at the macro textures of this rust. These seized components are going to be a challenge, but we are ready for the teardown. We have the Batmobile completely disassembled now. Every piece laid out, ready for assessment. The rust here on the frame is extensive.
The scribe shows how thin the metal is right here.
Yeah. We'll mark this entire area for replacement. The rust goes deep.
Let's gently tap the surface here. Okay, sir.
We're carefully mapping the damage now. This deep crease will need significant work.
And just a little tap here. Now we take the hammer and the dolly, placing the dolly just here, behind the dent. Listen to the metal tapping.
Using the hammer and dolly to meticulously work this fender, we are reshaping the warped areas, leaving the patina of the rust intact for now.
The panels are really starting to take shape now. As you can see, the major dents have been reduced.
We are carefully tapping out the remaining dents near the wheel arches.
The Batmobile requires precision. We use the hammer and dolly method for the best finish.
So we've pulled the main dent out, and now we're just carefully planishing the surface, leaving the original patina around the hinge.
Just a little more right there. We need to smooth out this curve before we hit the rust. Here we see the completion of the dent pulling. The body curves are restored, and these rusted areas are now marked for cutting and patching.
We have to be extremely precise here. Removing this rust is the first step before we can start fabricating the new metal.
Okay, right here, we're cutting into the rear quarter panel now, getting rid of all this corrosion. You can see the sparks flying as we hit the solid metal underneath.
So we're just finalizing the cuts here, making sure the edges are perfectly clean for the new patches.
Okay, so we're looking at about 12.5 centimeters here. The rust goes deep into the curve. We need a clean cut right along this line. Just a few more precise taps here on the edge, making sure the contour is absolutely perfect before we start the welding.
The rear quarter panel requires meticulous shaping. We are slowly bringing the metal into precise alignment before the final weld.
Are you ready for the tack weld? Edge looks perfect.
Yeah, I've got the clamp secured. Go ahead.
The alignment here is critical. We're looking for perfect panel gaps and smooth curves before we start the welding process.
The key is ensuring these iconic curves are absolutely seamless. Just a few more adjustments before we begin the welding process.
Applying the TIG torch here, carefully melting the edges together, you can see the molten pool forming right at the seam.
Okay, we are starting the TIG weld now, just connecting the new metal to the original chassis. Listen to that precise hiss.
And the patch panel is completely flush. Feel that.
Absolutely perfect bodywork.
And the final pass completes the seam. Absolute precision on the alignment here.
Fusing the patch now, listen to the sizzle, and then we carefully smooth the edges to restore that perfect armored curve.
Welding the trunk patches securely now, making sure the alignment with the rear panels is exact. The curvature must be maintained.
Okay, now we are applying the final patch to the curvature of the roof. Just a little more filler rod here.
We're reinforcing the frame here, connecting these panels for structural integrity. Listen to that subtle metal flex.
All right, let's check these welds. Just a few gentle taps to ensure continuity.
Welcome back to the workshop. The Batmobile's frame reinforcements are complete. All the rusted panels have been fully welded, and she's ready for grinding. See the sparks as we level the seam here on the Batmobile's quarter panel. Now it's perfectly smooth for the primer.
Now we're just smoothing out the welds here, getting that perfect seamless finish on the door panel. All right, focusing on these roof patches now. Getting the welds perfectly smooth while keeping the original patina around the edges.
Tapping the chassis now, hear the difference. This entire section here, we're marking it with chalk, needs full reinforcement.
We are securing the integrity of the Batmobile's structure. Meticulously applying these welds, one precise layer at a time.
The perfect bead. Watch the way the metal flows together seamlessly.
Here we see the fully repaired chassis of the 1989 Batmobile. Notice the leveled welds and the clean.
We're starting the teardown on the Batmobile engine. It's heavily corroded.
Listen to the impact wrench bite into that header bolt.
Now we're looking at the starter motor and the alternator. They are heavily corroded, as expected after all these years. We're getting ready to disassemble them completely. Watch as the pressurized water melts away decades of grime. It's incredibly satisfying.
Inspecting these cleaned components requires a close eye. We're checking for stress points and any remaining rust that needs replacement. We're carefully assembling the pistons now, ensuring every component is rust-free. Listen to that smooth rotation.
She's settling in, past the torque wrench.
Right here, let's secure the mounts.
Securing the coolant hose now. Listen to that click. Now the serpentine belt, nice and smooth over the pulleys. The detail here is just stunning. A fully rebuilt turbine engine, gleaming chrome and polished black surfaces. Absolutely rust-free.
That's 50 foot-pounds.
And the gap is exactly 3/1000ths. Perfect fit. Taking a closer look at the Batmobile's underpinnings. As you can see, decades of wear have really taken their toll on these bushings and ball joints. Time for the teardown. As you can see, the corrosion here is extensive. We use the pneumatic wrench to carefully loosen the caliper bolts. We're applying the final torque to the main bolt now. Listen for the click, and the bushing slides right in. Meticulously restored, the 1989 Batmobile now has brand new discs and these beautiful red calipers. Everything is torqued to spec.
Fusing the new metal panels now. This TIG weld ensures the cabin strength is fully restored. Just listen to that precision.
Brushing away the debris now, ensuring a perfectly smooth surface on this 1989 classic. Welcome back, everyone. The final sanding is complete. The body is incredibly smooth now, and the welds are perfectly leveled. The welds are completely leveled now, absolutely flawless. We are finally ready for the underbody work.
We are applying the final coat of primer now, ensuring a perfectly smooth surface for the pearl white base. The transformation begins. Watch the smooth, glossy white cover the seams. This is the first coat.
We are applying the final layer now. The surface is incredibly smooth, without a single imperfection.
Aligning the chrome trim now. So satisfying. The leather panels fit snugly into place. The restoration is complete.
And here it is, the 1989 Batmobile. Just look at that glossy white finish. The chrome details are absolutely flawless, aren't they?
The transformation is complete. From the heavy grime and rust you see here, to this flawless, high-gloss white finish.